of you, and I'm pleasure to be with you at this evening today. My name is Dr. Shazia Durani, and I'm consultant gynecologist. I have more than 15 years of experience in this field, and my graduation and post graduation is from Pakistan. But for the last 2 years, I'm working in Bahrain as a consultant. So previously, I was working at Bahrain Specialist Hospital, but nowadays I'm in the Astra Clinic. So I always talk about the women health and the preventive measures that the woman should be taken, and that's very much important. And so today's topic is the HPV vaccination. So I don't know. I can understand the few people. This thing we will be very new. So this is not relevant to the like COVID vaccination. It's HPV, human papilloma virus. So human papilloma virus is basically a very common virus, and it affects the woman health because it causes certain changes in the a woman's cervix, which is the lower part of uterus. So that's why it can cause later on in the long run cervical cancer. So that's why to talk about the HPV is very, very important. And its vaccination is available. Very few people know about it, right? So today we will discuss about it. What is the virus? This virus is a DNA virus actually, and it's a human papilloma virus because there are the different very many types of HPV viruses. So these viruses, everyone get encounter with these viruses, which you can see that anyone in the life history, we can get exposed to these viruses, right? But the more complicated viruses which can cause cervical cancer, or they are serious kind of viruses, they are 16 or 18 types, like which are associated with the cancer. So rest of the viruses, they can attack, and but they can washed away later on in the life. So if we divide, that's why we divide the HPV virus in low risk and the high risk, right? So low risk viruses, they can cause only the warts in the cervix and the low grade changes in the cervix. Cervix, I told, that's the lower part of uterus. And high risk viruses, they can turn up to be cervical dysplasia and the cervical cancers. So what is the cervical dysplasia? You can see, just I don't want to teach you all the medicine today, but I just want to share that this is the normal, the cells inside. If you see the cervix under the microscope, so it looks like this, normal, right? But in once the changes start because of this virus attack on the cervix, so the changes start, and you can say that little changes are here, cells are bigger, that they're inside the structure is more thicker, and these cellular changes, they are getting into the deep part of that area also, only not only the superficial layer. So it's progressing like this, and ultimately it becomes the cancer cells. So, I told that there are the different types, low risk and high risk. So we have to focus on this high risk, which can turn out to the cervical cancer. So 16, 18, and 39, and 40, 45, right? So what is the human papilloma virus? It's an extremely common virus which is sexually transmitted, and 80% of the sexually active people, they can contract it at some point of their life. So its incidence is very high, and it prevalence is 79 million people. Both men and women are thought to have an active HPV infection at a given period of time. So it transmits through the skin contact. It's not transmitted through the blood or any body fluids. So in India, if we see the cervical cancer, which is caused by this virus, is number one cancer among the women. with an incidence of 27 per 100,000 women, and age standardized mortality rate is very, very high, you can see. So if we go for the established relationship of this virus with the cervical cancer or warts, genital warts, or the anal cancers or the neck cancers, we can see that's well established. So because this virus causes a lot of changes in the cervix, which can lead to later on warts or the cancer, like recurrent respiratory papillomatosis, you can see it can also be due to this, and anal, vulval, penile, vaginal, and head and neck cancer, like head and neck cancers and esophagus and pharyngeal cancers. They can also be caused by this virus. So in West, 30% of the oral carcinoma is related to HPV, and it's commonly seen in the age of 20 to 39 years. So this age group is very vulnerable to catch these infections and having this cancer. The risk of contracting the oropharyngeal cancers and the cancer of tonsils back to the throat or base of the tongue is now it's increasing 3 to 4 times, 6 or more oral sex partners. And survival rate for those with the HPV positive head and neck tumor is 85%, non-smoking people. So survival rate is dropping for smokers. For if someone is having HPV virus active in their body and they are smoker as well, so they will have more complications as compared to the other. So if we see that in the global perspective of the cervical cancer, it's the second most common cancer in women, and the cancer that kills more women on the worldwide basis every year. More than 250,000 women, they die each year worldwide due to this cancer. And the one woman who dies in every two minutes from the cervical cancer, if we look into the global data. So in developing countries, it's a leading cause. In the European countries, because they are giving vaccination, so now they have controlled, and the death rate because of the cervical cancer has been decreased. So how it is transmitted, I told that it's the sexually transmitted, and non-sexual transmitted, that is the mother to the newborn during the pregnancy and delivery. And it can be transferred by the fomites, like equipments and some undergarments. And so skin contact, it is transmitted, not with the body fluids. So we can see that if it is persistent, that it remains there in the body, then the patient becomes symptomatic. Sometimes we have this virus there, but the patient is asymptomatic. So if HPV infection, it persists past the age of 30 years, then it has been seen that it's a greater risk of having a cervical cancer. So we can see the different, this is oral cancer, and this is how it looks like, different warts and the changes. It's the tongue, it's on the cervix. So most of the infections, I told that HPV, they got clear. 80 to 90% of the infection will resolve in 2 years. And average duration of infection is 9 to 13 months. But if it persists in 10 to 20% cases, it can persist. And the major risk is the developing the cancer of the cervix, which I told. So if we see the age-related HPV infection in the woman, then we can see that this virus, it's younger age group is more prone to get this virus, like age of 30 or 35, from starting from the age of 20 to maximum to 30 years is more prone. So cervical cancer, anal cancer, penile, anus, and female vaginal cancers. So these all cancers, you can see the age specific rates. We can see that cervical cancer rates are so much higher in the younger age group, and they persist, and their incidence is more higher. So in adolescents also, we can see that HPV infection is 74% occur in 15 to 24 years old age group. So now you have come to the idea that what is the most vulnerable age group who can catch this virus. which can, if persist, can lead to the cervical cancer. So adolescent women that I told that this is the cervix we can see and with the colposcope, and these are the microscopic changes which are coming with because of this virus. So what the guidelines say, what to do for these women? The guidelines say that starting from the age of 21 years, regardless of the sexual history, the PAP testing should be starting doing every 3 years in this woman, right? So pap smear, what is the pap testing? Pap testing, we take a small swab from the cervix and we send it to the lab for testing the abnormal cells. If abnormal cells or the virus is present, then it means that you have HPV infection or you are suspected to have HPV infection. So then treatment is available for that. And these women should be tested and above the 30 years. Then after that, every 5 years, the woman should be tested. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, doctor. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So I'm carrying
you
on.
are.
Yeah, I will take the
Yeah, yeah.
questions at the end of my presentation. So anyone who has any doubt or not clear, they can ask the question at the end of the presentation.
Doctor, this vaccination is applicable for all the age and all gender, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So HPV testing, I told you what is the protocols to do this HPV testing. And then is the this is the, if age is less than 21 years, then no screening is required. So we start the screening from age of 21 years to 29 years, 3 yearly, and from 30 to 65 years, 5 yearly. But if someone has any problem in this pap smear testing, we pick up some problem, then we need to repeat this testing. Depends on the result, 6 monthly maybe or 1 yearly maybe. Right, so different type of vaccination is available for this virus. So this is the good news, because most of the people, they are not aware that the vaccination is available. So in the Europe and Australia, they just give the vaccination in the younger age in routine vaccination, like we have the routine vaccination program. They have included in that not only the girls but also boys, because I will tell later on that the boys can also get this infection and they can transfer it to the girls. So this is the Cervarix vaccination which is available, and this is effective against the high risk HPV. So that's why I was telling about the high risk. What are the high risk? What are the low risk? So this vaccination is has been made for 16 or 18 HPV type virus. So 70% of the cervical cancer are because of this virus. So we have a vaccination program available, and this quadrivalent vaccination, which is a Gardasil, that covers 4 HPV viruses, 16, 18, and 6 and 11. Right, so these are all very high risk. So because these are called the genital warts and these are called the cervical cancer. So, but this, unfortunately, this vaccination is short in the Bahrain. It's not available. Gardasil is not available, but Cervarix is available. So I always promote the education about this infection and this cancer and the prevention and how we can give the vaccination. So vaccination schedule, you all of want to know about what is the vaccination schedule. So it should be like first dose, and then after 1 month, second dose, and after 6 months is a third dose. So 3 doses are required if the woman is above age of 15 years, right? Below the age of 15 years, only 2 doses are required. And this vaccination is not too much costly. So this slide shows how it works, how this vaccination works, because it's definitely, it creates antibodies against this virus in our body. So we can see the different, when this immunogenicity was tested in different research and in different studies. So it has been seen that it gives a very good immunity against this virus, which is persistent for many years. This here also in these studies, we can see that 6, 11, 16, and 18 virus vaccination immunogenicity was persistent for many years after giving this vaccination. And we get high levels of this 100% immunity, 100% after 4.5 years when the research were done, and this was the placebo, there was no immunity. So this is again, efficacy is proven. So I want to explain in this way that efficacy is proven already and we cannot deny it, and it's really effective. So there is no precautions in the pregnancy, we don't give it. And moderate to severe, if someone has flu, fever, anything, illness, they should not take it. But rest of the everyone who has a known hypersensitivity or some allergic reactions, they should avoid it. Otherwise, everyone is candidate for it and they can take it. So this is a and for boys also, we recommend that before the age of 25 and after that also, the boys in the younger age group, 12 to 15 years, they should be given the vaccination. But is most commonly they have been given the Gardasil, which is active against the 4 HPV viruses. But that is not available with us in Bahrain so far. So we can see the anal cancer incidence is also rising in the female as well as the males. So you have come to know that HPV is associated with the anal viruses also. So high grade lesions we can see, and this how it makes the changes in the body, and this is for the tongue. So it looks like this on the cervix. So recommended vaccination is in the males also 11 to 12 years, right? And but from 22 to 26 years, they also can get the vaccination of the 3 doses. If below 12 years, they can get the vaccination of 2 doses. Thank you very much. Now I can ask the questions.
Yeah, the floor is open. Questions are welcome. Dear participants. Doctor, which countries are mostly implementing this?
Sorry?
Which countries are mostly implementing it? Like how about
Yeah,
the
it's all over the world, like in America, in Europe, whole UK and Australia. Everyone has taken it in the program, not now, but for many years. We are unaware of it. And even in the Pakistan, I was working on it, and we give this vaccination providence to many women, to access to many women and many girls, young girls. Yes.
how is the ratio in Bahrain? How is the ratio in Bahrain of implementing it?
Yes, now I'm testing. Yes, I'm telling you that if I do the 30 pap smears, pap smear, I told you the testing, right? So testing, it is becoming positive. Out of 30, every 3 women, they have positive cases. So you can have an idea that how common it is.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
before
Doctor.
someone is getting virus, they should get the vaccination.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. This is the disease from the genetic also? No.
Sorry?
It's from genetically, it will be affected, the disease?
No, it is not genetically transferred. It is just this virus, because this cancer is 99%, it is through the virus, So unlike the other cancers like ovarian cancer, colon cancer, and this lungs cancer, they are somewhere linked to genetics also. But this virus related cancer is not really, like linked to any kind of genetics. Any other question?
Yes, please. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You can hear me?
Good afternoon. Yes, I can hear you. Who is this?
All right. This is Tina.
Tina from
Yes,
Kenya.
Tina.
Our respected sister Tina from Kenya.
Yeah, Tina from Kenya, yes. Now, I wanted to ask a question. Now, this HPV is it is transmitted mostly by men to a
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
how will a man know that he's the one who is the carrier? And okay, let's say like the way we know the STD can know the symptoms within 6 to 10 days. If my country does not give the vaccine and you're prone to get you're prone to get the cancer. Now, how can somebody know just by, let's say, is there a symptom that can come in within like 6 to 7 days, like the STD?
Yes, unfortunately, you can't know until the person is symptomatic. So otherwise, you can't know. Otherwise, you go for blood testing, then you will come to know. So that's why we talk about how to prevent the sexually transmitted infections and how to have a, safest methods. And that's why a lot of education is required on this topic, and we can have another session also for this. But the good thing is that the younger girls, they have an opportunity before getting this virus, because they have high chances to get it from anywhere. So they can have a vaccination before, because if they are vaccinated in the accurate age, then they will not get the infection.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. Any other question? So you have my
Okay,
number.
another question again. Sorry, another question again.
Yes, please.
Yeah, now with let's say the change of weather or the change of climate or something like that, and before you do a culture test or a pap smear test to know that maybe you have the cancer or you have something, is it related with the cancer or the uterus, the things that work around the cancer thing? Is it related with the pain women feel on their bellies? Is it related to anything that the stomachs are becoming big? Because relatively, I've seen around so many people with big stomachs, and you find it is, they say hormonal or something like that, but it still comes out to be something else. Can that also lead to cancer?
Yeah, actually, hormonal changes and the environment cannot lead to the cancer, but that cannot lead to the cervical cancer so far, right? Other cancers like the uterine cancer, they can be related to the hormones and genetically, plus the obesity, plus the family history. But this cervical cancer we are talking about particularly today, which we talk about the HPV virus and vaccination, that is not related to genetically, not environmentally, not hormonal disturbances. So the pap smear testing is a screening test. That's why it's available. And we have a package also nowadays in the Astro Clinic. If someone wants to avail that, then we have a package also. So that's in the discounted price is available. So every woman, every girl should screen for that. If she is not having this virus or not having the early changes, she can get vaccination. And this virus can cause the early changes we picked. So the cancer, it takes some time to develop, right? So the virus early changes are picked under the microscope, then we start the treatment and then become conscious. So better to prevent it, or to be, when it's a full blown cancer. So whether to pick it early and to treat it early, right?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Actually, your sister asked your contact number. I shared your contact number.
Sure.
I think they will contact you later.
Yes, yes. You can personally message me, contact me for more information and for where to do pap smear, when to do, and when to, get this vaccination, and for what are the doses, what is the cost, and when to come. So you can
Yeah.
just definitely, you can most welcome to contact me in this regard.
Yes, Doctor, and we have a humble request actually on behalf of Lights of Kindness. We would like to request you that every month we can come up with a common topic which can benefit for the what do you call the especially the female. You can come up with some topic and we can conduct the seminar. if your
Yes,
time
yes, sure.
permits. If your time permits.
Sure, I can manage because I always talk about the women health and I really promote because education, proper guidance and education and awareness can prevent a lot of problems.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Doctor. Actually, Dr. Shazia is our one of the strong well-wisher of Lights of Kindness activities, and she's a motivator also. Always, keep asking us about our improvements. And Doctor, do you have anything to say more? Or
Yeah. So no, the take-home message is that women health is very important, and to prevent the little infections, so prevention is better than cure, and so screening is very much important. So need to be screened for through the Pap smear, and must have an sexual health education and prevention strategies. Every woman should know and how to prevent and how to get vaccinated for that. That is the take home message from my side regarding this topic. So otherwise there are a lot of, things to say.
Doctor, if we don't have any symptoms for that, we may take that vaccination as essential.
Yeah, I told you that we're screening the start from the girls, like from the age of 21 years. So even you don't have symptoms, you have to be screened for by this testing.
But I don't know how about the availability for testing in India or
This
like
test
other
is
states.
very simple. It's very simple. It's all the time available with me in the Aster clinic, anytime. So
No, I'm
all
not
the
asking.
time.
I'm not asking about in Bahrain, in India, like
In
every
India
state.
also it's available. It's very simple. It's not too much costly. It's not required too much, the equipments. It's very simple and it's available in India as well.
Only
Most
the
of the
testing
people
from
know
the
because
blood,
my patients
blood,
are coming from India as well and they know
one,
about the Pap smear.
that protocol. Only the test from blood test or some
No,
other
no, we
tests.
take a swab from downside. We take swab from
Oh, I
downside,
see. I
yes,
see.
and we check it under the microscope. It takes
Oh,
few days to reports to come back.
okay. Thank you, Jazakallah khair.
Thank you
and
very much. Thank you all of you, and thank you so much for inviting me at this forum and platform to let me
yeah,
speak on this important issue. I really want that everyone should be aware of this importance
thank
of.
you, Doctor. And most of the seminars Doctor is conducting while on her working time, so she's always rushed to catch up her work also. So, Doctor, thank you very much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
And first of all, we would like to thank you for accepting our invitation, and you shared your valuable time. And along with you, we want to say a word of thanks to some others also, Brother Abid Durrani and Amina Sayed, Brother Fazlur Rahman, Brother Rifai Sultan, Sister Kausar Iqbal, Brother Muhammad Yusuf, and Brother Shahid Kamal, and Sister Sima Noor Yusuf, and Sister Aisha Nikara. So thank you very much. And before we wind up tonight, we have other session by Lights of Kindness. Let me show you.
Yes.
Yeah, today, inshallah, 7:30, we have the special motivational session. The sister, Miss Vaishnavi Menon, software engineer, is conducting a 5 Pillars of Success program. Those have time, join us, and you can share the message through your contacts also. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.